Hey guys, this is Grandy with Mob Pop Fishing. Before this episode, want to give a quick word for our sponsor, Whisker Seeker Tackle. They create these catfish float rigs called the Rattlers and the XL Rattlers. And these things create noise, vibration, and the cool thing is they also keep your bait above the ground, so it keeps it elevated. So whether you're using cut bait, whether you're using live bait, any type of catfish bait at all, it allows those channel cats, those flatheads or blue cats to be able to use their sense of smell and to be able to detect the bait. So make sure you guys go to whiskerseeker.com, use coupon code BFF25 _rattlers. That way you get 25% off for the next 2 weeks on that. I'll make sure Fishing Kit puts everything in the show notes so that way you guys have all the information. Other than that, enjoy this episode. Thanks, guys. All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Beer Fish Fanatics. This is Grandy of Mob Pop Fishing. My co-host, hopefully he's going to join us shortly here. As I was telling our guest here, he's having a little bit of an issue in regards to the stomach feeling department. Hopefully he can join us. I hope he does feel a little bit better. Sorry, Kit. I had to put you on blast here, but... Other than that, we actually got two gentlemen here. I spoke with them. We ran into each other a couple weeks ago. I wanted to get them on, and the reason being because, I love local podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and then on top of that, these guys do a great ice fishing podcast, and it's pretty badass. I wanted to get them on, pick their brains a little bit and just kind of understand how they got started because they're a lot more professional than my ass and Fishing Kit too. So you guys got to go check them out. But no further ado, we got Ben and Brett here from the Short Rod Podcast Show, right?
Yep.
Did I say that right, guys?
Show. The Short Rod Show. Yeah.
Yep. Short Rod Show. Is that okay? It's a Short Rod Show. I just want to make sure.
There you go.
Yeah. So you guys got to check them out. It's pretty cool. You guys do a lot of, obviously ice fishing, hence the name Short Rod. So, and I think you guys do justice in regards to ice fishing and helping beginners. So I think that's a cool thing. I think you guys, a lot of people who are really getting into ice fishing should definitely check you guys out. So other than that, man, thanks for joining me for now. And then hopefully Fishing Kit can join us. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, thanks for having us on. We're looking forward to it.
Cool. And then today I am drinking Back Pocket Brewing. It's a Belgian style. Okay, I'm going to butcher this. Kit's going to laugh at me, but it's a Murder Horn Golden Ale. I didn't even realize this is 10.2% alcohol content.
Yeah.
I'm going to be slurred speech by the end of this one, possibly, gentlemen. But what are you guys drinking today, guys?
That's awesome.
What do you got, Ben?
Well, I'm repping the Spotted Cow from New Glarus.
Wisconsin beer.
Classic there. Rocking the Beer Fish Fanatics koozies too.
Love it.
Yep, some love for beer fish.
What am I running? Hannah. Exile Hannah.
Exile Hannah. Nice.
Keeping it local also.
Yep.
All right. Cheers,
awesome.
gentlemen. Cheers.
Not a fancy mug for me. We're canned guys.
Oh, that one's empty. Shoot.
You can always get a fancy mug at mobpopfishing.com. You just go get one of these Beer Fish Fanatics spot. Just put it out there, gentlemen.
We might have to upgrade here next.
Man. All right. I'm gonna have to give a quick shout out to Back Pop because for a 10.2% alcohol content, it is actually damn smooth, guys.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty rare on those. Sometimes they're just stouts.
Got a little bite to them.
Yep.
I was a little concerned how that was gonna be because of 10.2. So, all right, I think Fishy Kid said he's ready to join us. Okay, let's see if he's alive, man. All right, well, let's see. I'm gonna admit him. Let's see if he's ready. Here we go. This is recording live. It's good.
View from the bathroom coming up.
Yeah, I hope he's not in front of the bathroom. All right, well, he might have to. Here, has to start video. There we go. There you go. Oh, he is alive. Hey,
there he is.
Hey, we're recording, by the way.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
But don't worry, man. I already put your ass on blast, bro. I told and these guys are just like, dude, you gotta stop cooking that, cooking your walleye in the air fryer, bro.
That's what did it. Had to be.
Hey, my ass was on blast, literally.
Oh boy. So just so everybody knows, Fishing Kit finally joined us, and I don't know if he's gonna be drinking beer today or not.
I'm going with the water fish fanatic today.
There we go. It's all right, man. Cheers, man. I hope you feel a little bit better. You know what?
Cheers.
I'm gonna give it to you because you're toughing it out and actually just joining us. So I that's ballsy. I would have been like, we'll do this tomorrow, boys.
Yeah.
Well, if I just disappear, you guys will know why.
He's gone. All right.
Yeah. But anyways, like I said, I was just introducing the guys here and, just giving them a little bit of props because they're a lot more professional than us in regards to podcasting. So,
I don't know about that.
No.
But yeah.
Yeah. You're getting it backwards there.
Yeah.
Well, we're just a bunch of guys who just talk fishing and just kind of know about that much and know a little bit more about beer. So that's the cool thing. So, but anyway, so people are probably going to wonder what's your guys' show all about. What is it about? If you guys don't mind, can you tell us a little bit about your show, podcasting, and everything, and how the hell did you guys get into it? And I know you guys are growing. You guys are growing pretty big. So just tell our listeners, man, what you guys are about, man.
Yeah, Ben, I'll let you take that.
Yeah, so Brett and I we've been buddies for a while. Met through some mutual friends, and they're all open water guys for the most part.
Yep.
And Brett and I are just diehard ice fishermen. I mean, we live to be out on the ice. We started getting excited around that late September, October timeframe. Prepping for the ice season, and we were kind of always off in the corner talking about ice fishing. Brett, where are you fishing this year? And what are you fishing for? And Brett, being more of a Southern Iowa kind of angler, had a lot different experience ice fishing than I did, being from Northeast Iowa. So we're always talking ice fishing, and that's really what got us talking about, hey, how can we, take this to the next level, maybe expose some more people to the sport. And we decided to start a podcast.
Yeah, I think you're missing a little bit, but
fill in the gaps for me.
So I guess for me, when we first started thinking about a podcast so we fished an Iowa State fishing tournament. When was that? 2 years ago.
Yep. Yeah.
And it was like a tournament series. So the Iowa State Fishing Club puts on the tournament series. They went to 5 different lakes throughout the state. And I was like, Ben had just moved to Ankeny, and I was like, hey, let's go do these. We hadn't had kids yet. We were just, I've got time to burn in the winter. So let's go do this. We made it to all 5 of them, and we ended up winning the series, which really it was just by default because we were the only ones that went to all of them.
Yeah. We were that committed.
The one on Big Creek here, I thought we had a decent bite going, and then some big dogs showed up and we got spanked. But, and we brought in like 10, maybe half-ounce bluegills. And and the guys that won brought in like 13, 14-inch crappies that, who knows, I think they brought them with. I mean, I don't know where the heck they would have caught those suckers.
Not out of Big Creek.
No, they didn't. It was, we just got spanked out there. But so we did that. And then Ben messaged Widowmaker and was like, hey, we did this, you guys have any, thoughts of working with us or anything like that? And then they got back with Ben, was like, yeah, here's your 10% off code or whatever, if you want to do that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, what can we do to bring some more value to that, or see if we can expand that? And then that's really kind of like, hey, let's do this podcast form. Because I guess what I like about the podcast format is that I've got an hour, 2 hours, however long I want to talk about a subject. And I can really get down deep in the weeds, where like, if you're doing like a YouTube video, nobody's going to really be interested in me sitting here talking 2 hours about, I mean, I guess we are doing YouTube videos here now, but
yeah, man, come on, dude. You ain't doing us any justice.
The original idea was just like the podcasting format is you can just sit here and chit chat forever, not trying to be on the ice actually fishing for 2 hours and trying to convey what you're wanting to talk about. So
and I mean, we looked at some of the other fishing podcasts, and there's a ton of really good ones. You guys are just starting up here within the past year or so, but I mean, there's some big name podcasts out there for the regular fishing world. And we're like, what's out there for ice fishing podcasts? There's a couple, another, somewhat local one guy in Iowa, another guy in Minnesota, I believe. The Hard Water Fishing Show was one of them. But then like Shack Talk, they're sponsored by Eskimo, big name. It's just a marketing podcast basically. So we really wanted to start a podcast that's for the everyday ice fisherman. If that's a beginner, if that's the tournament angler, if that's the, the diehards like us, that has something for everybody. So that's really what we've accomplished so far.
Yep.
Our audiences, I mean, we get messages every day from people that are just getting into ice fishing, that are new. And of course, in 2020, with everything that blew up, there's tons of new people in the sport.
Yeah, it's
So
been crazy.
pretty cool.
The amount of people that we get messages and saying, hey, this is my first time ice fishing, or this is, my first time. What do I do? What do you think? It's overwhelming. Like the day we'll drop a podcast on Sundays, and I was talking with Ben about this earlier, it'll be 3 or 4 days later that I'm still like spending an hour after I put the kids to bed messaging people back. And I'm just like,
yep,
I'm not getting paid enough to do this.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a labor of
None of us are, brother.
Wait, you get paid to do this? What?
No.
Oh man, that's the big lie of podcasting so far. We'll figure it out eventually, but
I agree with you guys. I think Fishing Kid and myself got into it because number one, it's fun. Like you're saying,
It's a blast.
It's a blast, and you get a chance to talk about stuff that you love. It's your passion. You know what I mean? Yep. And to be able just to sit here and shoot the fan and really, hopefully, like you're saying, bring something to a listener or an audience member and bring some value to them. I think that goes a long way. So I think that's those type of podcasts and the ones that you guys do with that type of goal mentality is the reason why you grow, and I think you do better. At least in my opinion, I feel.
Yeah, and we really try and keep it authentic, and really we talk about specifically. I mean, we're 2 Iowa guys, so I mean we have audience guys from all over the country that have totally different styles of fishing that still find it interesting to listen to a couple Iowa guys talk about going out on a city pond or out on Big Creek or some of the local waters and catch fish.
Or we catch.
Don't talk about Big Creek too much, guys.
Keep that on the down low. That's
I'm never afraid to mention Big Creek because there's already a million people out there. Let them fish it out. Just let it ride. The shad will take care of it.
Yep. Here we go.
Hey, you guys said your audience is like a lot of your audience is from the Northeast of the United States.
Yeah.
Huh. I wonder what's going on there.
I have no idea what's going on there.
Yeah, those guys, they're diehards too. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
And a lot of tip up guys. They couldn't believe like we're just
tip up trout fishermen.
Yeah, our main fishing style would be a rod and a jig, and they're all about tip ups. Like, why aren't you guys using tip ups? That's all we use.
Yeah.
But
why are you even listening to us? Because we don't even fish any way that you're talking about fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there, but they're pretty cool to interact with.
Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire, New York, up, north of the border up in Canada. Ontario. Yep.
Do you guys feel like it's pretty badass that when you see where your audience are from, like you never expected, like you're just saying the Northeast. I mean, audience that are listening to us. I mean, I've seen people from France listen to us.
Yeah.
I've seen people from, it's insane, from Alaska. I've seen California, all over the United States, but just to see them like have an interest of what we, like you're just saying, we're all from Iowa and have an interest of what we're fishing. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm like, holy crap, they actually show some interest, and you're right, they respond. So it just blows my mind. I was just like, holy crap.
And especially, ours is an ice fishing podcast. And I mean, what are we sitting on? 5 inches tops of ice right now, where we've gotten other folks that, in Ontario, they're already on almost 2 feet ice, and their season is probably twice as long as ours is.
Yeah.
And you're in Canada. You just catch fish in Canada. Why are you even? We actually have to fish in Iowa.
Yeah.
They just catch fish in Canada.
They get tired of walleyes in Canada.
Exactly. So they start fishing for bourbon.
Yep.
I know. It's true though. I think I've seen a couple videos of some of those Canadians, and they catch like a monster. Oh, it's just a lake trout.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's only, a 20-odd, 30-inch lake trout. Just another one. I'm just like,
exactly.
Yeah. Can't keep them off the hook.
You guys ever watch that Clayton Schick guy on YouTube?
Got a few episodes.
Yeah, I watched. He did like a challenge against Jay, whom we've had on our podcast. But they had a contest to see who catch the most walleyes in a day.
Yep.
I think Clayton caught like 100 and something, and Jay caught like 80. Like, come on, I don't even catch that many walleyes in a year.
Yeah, I know, that's ridiculous.
Yep. Yeah. Shout out to you guys too for having some killer guests. I mean, that was really cool. When I got turned on to your podcast, it's from Jay Siemens being a guest. and he's a big name in the industry. At least YouTube, he's putting out way more videos now, and used to be a kind of just camera guy.
Although your Terra Morado video was probably the best one. I really enjoyed that.
That one was and the crazy thing is, me and Kit were like, he doesn't even drink, and this guy
he's
is
just that way.
But you know what? He was, as much as entertaining that he was, dude, he was so informative. Like the information he was giving us, it was just a blast to have someone like that. Like, I mean, obviously he's a guide too, so that helps. That obviously he knows what the hell he's doing. So, that was a great episode. It was super fun to have him on, and it was just JC. I'm like, I didn't even think he was going to jump on. I'm like, come on, you got two Asian guys from Iowa. What the hell is he gonna talk to us about? You know what I'm saying? And he's blown up though. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah. I catch a couple of them from time to time. Yeah, I mean, when you say ours being more professional, I tell you what, you're putting a heck of a lot more work into your podcast than we do. I text Ben and I'm like, hey, what do you want to talk about this week? I show up to his house, we record it, and we send it. Where you're, working on guests and all this. And it's awesome.
I mean, it looks that way. Is deceiving, man. Come on, dude. We're called Beer Fish Fanatics, And in the back of our heads, like BFF. That's a great freaking slogan. Let's run with it, Come on, you're
like
giving us way too much credit.
If you look outside this camera frame, it looks a lot different.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, how's your guys' ice fishing season been, man? This year, like, I know because we're talking offline, like. My season has been great for the panfish, but I have completely sucked for catfish. I'm still skunked on the catfishing. I'm still trying. I mean, how have you guys been this season?
I'd say it's really just getting going. Yeah. Maybe in the last 2 weeks, we've really had ice where I could actually go out and explore and, find the fish that I want. Where before we'd be on ice, but I'd be like restricted to like the south shore of one little bay, and you're just kind of taking what you can get in that scenario. But
and I think this year's different. Just us personally, I'm a new dad this year. You're a new dad as of last year, 2019. So that's changed everything as far as like getting out fishing and things we can do, and
a lot of night bites going on.
A lot of night bites going on, and a lot of sneaking away from the house and getting on a bite when we can. Versus before we'd plan it out and just we'd be out every day. After work, weekends, just going on trips wherever we can. So
and as far as fishing, I'd say our spots are just starting to settle in. You got some early ice where it comes and goes, and you got a lot of water coming into the system. But this past week, fish are starting to set up where I would normally expect to see them.
Welcome to the world of no sleep, gentlemen.
We're getting broken in. I'm getting broken in hard.
Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. It doesn't go away. I've been at it for almost 8 years straight.
There you go.
8 years straight, man. I feel for you.
I got 4, man. 8. Well, that's 7. She's about to turn 8. 6-year-old. 3-year-old and a 1-year-old in about a week. So there you go, man. It's all right, man. You still find a way to figure it out, right? Because
definitely.
I got this guy, Fishing Kit, to help teach him how to fish, so I'm good to go, man.
Well, Kit goes out and does all the scouting, and then you can just come up behind him with the kids and clean house.
That's exactly what happened. We did that on Sunday and last weekend.
And I owe this guy a couple more beers because he's 1,000. You guys are 1,000% on that. He's scouting, and I text him. I go, "Where you at? Where you going?" Because exactly right.
Just like pre-fishing for a tournament, he's all about it.
I kind of want to ask you guys about your ice fishing setups. I think Brett, you're the one with the Panoptics, right?
Yep.
And then
picked that up this year.
New owner of the Panoptics.
Yeah.
And then your fishing rod. So Panoptics is like on the high end of the electronics. And then your rods are like on the complete opposite low end of fishing rods.
Well, if you look at cost wise, yes.
Yes.
But if you look at value wise, no.
I like that.
We figured this question was coming.
No, it's almost a thing now where I can't get rid of them. Like our listeners, they want to see the schoolies. Yep. They love seeing big fish being caught on those cheap shitty schoolies.
Yeah, you got some in the background over there.
Yeah. They're just part of the show now. Like I can't, even if I wanted to go get away from them, I can't get away from them now. But I mean, really, I don't think you can beat the bite indicator on them. I don't think you can beat the sensitivity on those schoolies. As far as seeing, super light bites, that sort of deal. But if I'm trying to fish some heavy baits, that isn't going to work out very good. But
And you've come a long ways too. You used to just be a diehard. You only fish with schoolies. Now, if I hand you a rod, you'll fish with it.
Well, yeah, that's because you're running $100 bullwhips and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to fish with it for a little bit.
Yep. So you've done some growing. That's good.
Yeah, but then moving to the Panoptics thing, that's insane. Because Kit, you run a Panoptics or something, don't you? Live scope?
Yeah, I just got the live scope recently.
Live scope.
Nice.
Have you got it on the ice yet?
Maybe like 3 weeks now.
What have you thought of it?
I find myself
I'll
fishing
interview
less.
you for a while now.
Okay. So what I notice is I fish less and I'm just constantly looking for stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm like drilling, or it's got the map on there. So
Yep.
okay, I see this point or whatever. Oh, there's supposed to be some structure over here. So I'm drilling. I'm just drilling just to find stuff. Like,
Yep.
there's this shelf here or drop off. I look at it and then I don't see any fish. I ain't gonna drop down here. Move on to the next hole. There's no fish there. Sometimes I'll spend like an hour just looking for stuff, not fishing, which is, I think it's kind of a good and bad thing because it maximizes your fishing, I guess.
Efficiency, I guess. It maximizes
efficiency.
your drops. Like the number of
Yes.
times you're dropping that lure down, it might
Drops per
maximize
fish.
that. But
Yep.
yeah.
But overall, I'm not fishing as much.
Yeah, exactly. I found the exact same thing. I'm just drilling holes and getting frustrated because I'm not finding fish that I thought were supposed to be.
So does it take it away? That's exactly right. Does it take away a little bit of the fun of ice fishing? Because like you guys are just saying, there's so much information, right? Kate, you were saying that. I think that's right because there's so much information now with the technology. Like, do you guys see yourself like, dang, it kind of takes away from my time from fishing? Yeah, you would have fished and probably not catch shit, but
yeah, you probably would have caught anything. But.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you could say I was actually fishing instead of just drilling.
Yep.
Yeah. But once, like the moment you find that piece of structure that is loaded with fish, that's when it pays off.
So that's the thing is I've been able to find a heck of a lot more structure. There's a pile of structure on some of these local ponds. It's ridiculous. Like before being able to search, 100 foot out in front of me, I only knew of like a couple of brush piles and stuff. Where now, I mean, if you want to look for it, you can find everything.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And-
and it's been really good, especially like we talk on the podcast a little bit, but fishing multiple people in a shelter, you can't beat that. Having one Garmin unit in the center and being able to scope out and see two different jigs and jig independently and see fish coming in from the sides and from the front and the back, that's killer. I mean, because otherwise we were running 3 flashers at a time in an otter lodge, at a couple of different points, and it just everyone's seeing different jigs and you got 3 jigs on one screen and no jigs on the other and you're trying to dial it all in. So
but now I find that Ben honey holes me is what I call it.
I'll just shack up next to this guy and I'll just drop.
I'll start pointing off in directions and moving over
see
that
the
Ben's drilling holes right next to me or 6 inches away from mine.
Yeah.
I think Kit was like, dude, you could drill a little bit further. Granny.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was like, I literally, because I want to see when he was using the light scope, I was like, damn, that is so damn cool. I go right. He goes, dude, you can see over, like, you can move over 1.5 foot, man. You're all right.
Like you drill a hole like 5 feet away and still see your stuff.
Yeah.
So
that's the sweetest part.
But it's I agree with you guys. It's so cool just to kind of see. I think the biggest thing is that. Okay, so flashers, the typical flashers, you can just see the mark. You can see if it's there, if it's coming after. But with what you guys have, you can see it come from the side.
Directional is big time. You're right.
I think that's the biggest thing. And then on top of that is like you can see it going away, but yet if you look at the because this is what I have a regular flasher, it still sees the mark. But when I looked at Fishing Kit's screen, the fish was aiming to a different direction, so it's like it was like kind of pointless, but you don't see that if you're using the typical flasher. So it's like so much information out of that thing, dude. It's
and
great.
another amazing thing I've seen is how quickly fish will move. Like they'll come from 6 feet over, and if they want it, they're there. Or if they don't want it, they'll just keep cruising. Oh, that's the problem is I see them cruising all the time and they don't even look at my bait. That's the most frustrating part. You'll find the fish, you scan for them. like Kit said, you're looking for an hour and you find the fish and then they just cruise right by it.
Yeah.
It totally
Dang
changes it because you're right. Because when you have a typical flasher, you just see a mark and you're thinking like,
Yep.
it's looking at my lure the whole damn time, right?
Yep.
Exactly. It does. It's completely in a way, like I just said, that Garmin Live Scope and Panoptics, it totally changes. No, it's not. It's not even looking at your shit, dude. It's just all the way over there. But yet your flasher's still marking it. So that's yeah.
Exactly. And what, like Ben mentioned, we'll be in our hut and I'll have the Panoptics running, so we can see both of our jigs down there.
Mm-hmm.
And if he starts getting a fish coming in on his, I start jigging real hard trying to steal that fish over to my side.
It's a game
every single time.
Yep.
It's not even about catching the fish. It's just about him not catching it.
Mine, baby. Come to mine, baby. Eat mine.
Yeah. Like it provides so much information to the angler. And what I noticed, mainly with crappies, is they'll come in level with your bait, but they'll dive down and then go up. Like I noticed that more with crappies opposed to bluegills. Bluegills kind of just go straight for it. But with the crappies, they go down and try to basically do a sneak attack from beneath. Yeah. And like I'd never noticed that with a flasher, like ever. Other than with the flasher, it's always they just show up low and then they kind of just creep up.
Well, I think that'd be the angle of your cone. You wouldn't see that.
Yeah, there's a deceiving factor to your cone angle and what it can see. And
but have you ran a regular Panoptics before also?
I have not.
I'm curious to see what the difference is or how much more value the live, because everybody says the live scope. You just will do that and skip the PS22.
So last year we had a buddy who actually had the Panoptics, and then Fishing Kit got the live scope. So it's there's a difference. And the reason that I think the biggest difference when I look at Fishing Kit's live scope, the difference from the Panoptics is like you can see the size and the shape of the fish, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot more distinct on the live scope. The Panoptics is great. You can kind of see it come from the side and everything, but the size of it and also the structure, you can't tell the really difference until you see the live scope. Live scope, when you look at his stuff, it's like, holy crap, that structure. That's like you can see the branch. You can see the branch. But on the Panoptics, sometimes you kind of mistaken, it's like, is that a fish? I wasn't sure. It's not completely the shape of it. And I think that's a little bit of the biggest difference. Was there supposed to be something else, Kit? Do you know that the big difference with the live scope?
That's mostly what I was curious about, is just at least finding fish and that sort of deal.
The speed's different too. Live scope is pretty close to real time compared to a Panoptics, which has a little bit of a lag. But
live scope has just enough lag where you notice it, because when I first started using it kind of threw me off, because flashers is just like bam, instant, right?
Yep.
But with the live scope, there's a slight delay, because if a fish comes in real fast, it'll hit it and then you'll see it on the graph. I don't know how much lag the Panoptics has.
It's definitely got a little bit.
I think because our friend that had it's about the same, Kit. I think I want to say the lag is exactly about the same. Just that little bit. I know what you guys are talking about. Like all of a sudden you move it, and all of a sudden then you see it move. It's just. I don't think you can beat that yet. Hopefully, though, the technology will get a little bit better.
Yeah, but eventually you learn it anyway. So you learn what you're looking at.
Yeah, you should be watching your rod tip anyways when a fish is coming close.
True.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to get glued to that screen.
Oh, yeah. The other day I was watching it, and so we were on a pond here in town, and the crappies were chasing hard. And so with the schoolie, I can't reel up real fast if they're chasing me. And I'm fishing like 14 feet of water. And he ends up biting at like 7, or probably not that high. It couldn't be that high because I couldn't reach that high. It had to have been like 10. But my arms were up over my head by the time he bit, and I just had to throw my rod back to try to set the hook.
Wow.
Good thing
another beer.
But they were chasing hard.
I'm gonna do another beer. I'm doing a Peachtree Blonde Fatale.
Blonde Fatale.
Hey, they're on sale. I don't know if you guys.
We'll have to get in on that.
$8.90. I think it was $8.99 6-pack, guys. By the way, nice. at Hy-Vee, or at least on the east side, the Pleasant Hill. Just FYI.
That's good stuff from Knoxville.
Yeah.
All right. I think I'm gonna dip my toes into beer. this is the beer earlier before my stomach went all wonky on me. I keep looking at it. I was like, should I drink it? I feel better, so it might be worth it.
You know,
Nice.
I feel so bad for your body tonight, kid. I'm sorry, man. Cheers, man. Good luck, brother. Good luck.
Cheers.
Hey, look
We'll
at that.
see how this one goes.
They representing with the koozie, kid.
Mm-hmm. There you go, man. Yep.
Nice koozies.
Keeping her nice and cold.
There you go. Actually, I wanted to ask you guys a little bit more about your guys' audience too on the podcast, like, because you guys were telling us a little bit that you guys get a lot of new ice fishing people, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would be the biggest, I guess, request that you guys get for them? Like, what's the biggest question that you guys get that a lot of people don't know about ice fishing if they're just jumping into it? What would you guys say is like the biggest? Hey, can you guys talk about this? Or they're just asking you guys questions. What would be the biggest thing that new ice fishing people don't know about or just want to know more about?
Yeah, I'd say what we get a lot is, hey, I'm fishing a lake. You know, they'll give us some description about a lake, and then they'll say, I'm targeting this fish.
Okay.
Like, so one I can think of off the top of my head is a guy who was in Wisconsin fishing a very shallow lake for walleyes. And first of all, I prefaced my message back and I'm like, if you've listened to our podcast for any amount of time, we have like one episode that we talk about walleyes and we're catching like 10 inches. But that's probably one of our most common is, hey, I'm fishing a lake. This is some of kind of how try to describe the lake a little bit and then say, hey, where would you go to try to find bluegills, or where would you go to try to find whatever?
Mm-hmm.
That's what
And some of the questions too. I mean, we did an episode last year that's like a very underrated episode called No Flasher, No Problem, where Brett, I mean, basically runs away with all the skills you need to know if you don't have a flasher on how to find and catch fish on a lake.
Yeah.
And we still get people asking, hey, I just bought a hand auger and there's a ton of ice. I don't want to drill a bunch of holes. And I also don't have a flasher. Where should I fish?
It's probably our most informative podcast. It has by far our least views.
Yep. So apparently our audience is too rich for our blood.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a flasher. But we get a lot of people that are new that are wanting to find where to fish, or I mean, they want to go out and fish with somebody, or we get people saying, hey, how do you guys find people to go fish with? That's been a big one this year too.
Really?
And I always direct them to Facebook. I mean, I see a lot of posts on like the Iowa ice fishing groups and even the Big Creek fishing group. Hey, I'm heading out to the ramp tomorrow morning. Is anybody going out that wants another buddy? So there's that stuff going on too, which is cool. Because we like to take people out fishing, but it's too crazy right now. So we get a lot of that with our new ice fishermen, I guess.
Yep.
And this year there's just been a pile of them. Like
Nice.
It's every episode somebody.
One thing 2020 did was had people get a lot of spare time and maybe some spare money to go out and buy a whole new
take
hobby.
the stimulus money and go buy a lithium 40 volt. And
And a Panoptics.
Yeah.
Not me.
I haven't gotten my stimulus yet, man. I'm sad.
Are you serious? Oh man.
You actually got to file taxes first, I think.
Well, I got the first one back in, what was it, April, and I didn't get the direct deposit for this month, so I gotta claim a credit or something on my taxes, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn,
That'll probably be a mess.
Nah, that's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Good luck, man. Yeah, you're
Anyways,
right.
enough about that stuff. Do you guys is there like, do you guys ever notice you have certain fans, I guess, that are always there? Like we have a guy, Ed Brown.
Shout out to Ed, baby. Shout out to
Shout
Ed.
out.
It's
there,
you.
Yeah, he's there every episode. He's commenting, liking. I'm pretty sure you guys have that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How does someone like that make you guys feel? I mean, I love it seeing Ed come back like every week saying, good job, whatever.
Yeah, really keeps you going and gets you going.
It depends on what their questions and comments are.
Yeah.
Sometimes what I've found is, those comments are great if they're like, hey, yeah, great job, love the podcast. But sometimes they try to get a little prying because they're local guys that we have that try to pry, like, hey, well, what lake were you fishing on? Where were you at? What was this? How's this going?
It's like
That sort of
there's a
deal.
reason we don't put that out because we're not
If it's Big Creek, I'll say it, but otherwise I kind of keep that under wraps.
Yeah.
So let's speaking about that. Hey, I don't know if you guys saw. There's been been a big hoopla about the
Oh,
Big
yeah.
Creek thing. So okay, so people are listening.
What's that? No, maybe I missed it.
You missed it. I think, yeah, Kit and Grandy got in on it.
Okay.
I always get on that shit.
I saw a bunch of comments.
But this is the thing. So people are listening. Obviously, if you're not from Iowa, there's a lake in central Iowa that it gets a lot of pressure here and there.
It's next to our biggest metro. I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah. And it's, a lot of people, I guess there's a, specific area or whatnot that a lot of people didn't fish prior on the ice, honestly. And now all of a sudden this year it just got blown up and they see a lot of, so what are they catching? They're catching wipers, they're catching walleyes, they're catching crappies, and that's.
Well, where is this spot? I need to get on Facebook. I had no idea.
I'll get with you later, Brett.
It was on Facebook, man.
We'll chat later.
I think you did miss the post, then.
I think you must have missed it. But how do you guys feel about that? When people, I guess, blow a spot up. What are your thoughts on that? Whether it's Facebook, whether it's any type of social media, whether it's YouTube, they record, whatever the case may be, they blow a spot up. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I guess people can do whatever they want to do, at least on our podcast, and trying to, knowing that we have listeners and we have a certain responsibility to, especially some of these smaller body waters that we fish, that as long as we don't blow up the spot, people can do whatever they want. As long as they're not sitting there waving the short rod show flag and saying, yeah, they planted us here.
Brett told us to fish here.
They can do whatever they want.
In all seriousness with that too, I mean, we kind of took some clues from some other shows that we pay attention to, like In Depth Outdoors is one of them that I was a big fan of, still am to some degree, but they do a really good job of pinpointing an area to fish, but not the spot on the spot of that
not
area.
the lake.
And they're, if they're going on a small Minnesota lake, they're going to say, hey, we're in north central Minnesota around, whatever town, and we're fishing a lake here. And then when they show their spot on the spot episode or their little segment, they show a generic lake map, or here's a lake that's like this with this same structure. Here's where you pick your points out. And I think that's a good responsible way to do it, at least for us, that, maybe we have a lot more influence than Facebook. Maybe we don't, but we don't. But it makes us feel better because, I don't want to completely decimate a fishery for years to come, and can't take our kids there now because, back in 2021, someone blew up Big Creek's spot on the spot.
I mean, I'm not afraid to say Big Creek, but I'm also not saying like, oh, we need to fish. You need to fish the northeast, base or the northeast arm or anything like that.
Oh, there's
sort of deal.
It was.
It was pretty specific.
The past 2 years,
Was it the northeast arm? Is that the one you're talking about? Oh no.
it was pretty darn. Yeah. It was like it blew up the spot. It is what it is. It's not against the law or anything, but it's just. I think it's etiquette a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So speaking of etiquette, so I was out on specifically Big Creek. A couple of years back, I was out there. This was open water, and the guy was fishing. And there's an area out there that's got a bunch of rock piles on it. And I mean, early spring, to me, it's no secret that there's walleyes out there and people are walleye fishing on them. And so this guy is posted up on a rock pile and he's kind of casting and jigging. And all of a sudden this boat just comes planing out of nowhere, just firing up at this guy. And Big Creek's a no wake lake.
Yeah.
So you don't see that very often.
Yeah.
And he's just circling this dude. And all of a sudden he stops. And I'm like, what is going to happen here? And he's like, this is my damn spot. What are you doing down here? All this stuff. I told you about it. Yelling at this guy.
Yeah, we thought we were going to see a fight.
Oh my gosh. And then he just zooms back off. Oh, it was hilarious.
Wow.
I mean, it's all public domain.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's why I say it's just etiquette. It's not law. Etiquette is just, common courtesy. Is not law, so you can do it, but you can just be an a-hole about it.
Yeah, but there were already like 10 boats around the guy. It's not like this guy was out there by himself in some
Yeah,
random damn
That's true.
spot.
But
He took it a little hard.
He must have hated that guy.
Oh, yeah, he was bad. He was fired up.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But one of our episodes, we talked with the DNR urban fishing biologist, Tyler Stubbs, and he was, in that episode, we talked a little bit about, hey, we're not as, prone to, we can talk about ankeny ponds. We can talk about the ponds in Altoona or Bondurant, that kind of area. there's really no secret spots there. So it's not like they get a ton of pressure necessarily, but
Yeah.
we're not afraid of saying, hey, we're on some ponds in Ankeny and caught some really nice fish.
It's not like I'm saying we're on the First Street pond.
Yeah.
We're just saying general area and let it ride.
Yep. So that's kind of been our
First
idea
Street's
of
a
that.
long street.
Yep.
See,
you guys are gentlemen fishermen, man. That's awesome.
What about 18th Street? I remember you guys mentioned that street.
Yeah, there's some secret spots.
There's
there.
multiple on that street too. It's a long street.
Oh man, too funny. But yeah, you had to miss that amazing Facebook.
It isn't deleted, is it?
I don't know.
Good.
I haven't
Hopefully
checked
not.
back.
There goes the rest of your night looking for that.
Yeah, he can have fun, man. It's good time.
That's how I find most of my spots.
See,
Actually,
the guy that posted it. I'm actually friends with him. I'm kind of I agree with him, man. But I'm not as vocal as he is.
Yep.
The whole story is these guys posted a video, and then they started sharing it across all the ice fishing groups. And then I actually went out that week, and the spot I usually fish, there'd maybe be 10 guys spread out in that area
at best.
Yeah, like last year. And then this year, I went out like the week after that video came out. There's probably 40 guys out there.
Oh, geez.
On a Thursday. Like, that's it. Game over.
Yeah. Wow. Jeez.
I think what the biggest thing is, okay, so the fish that everybody was more concerned about is the wipers. It doesn't reproduce. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest thing on the poster thing, is that you can fish there. It's not that you can't fish there, but when you're keeping in an abundance of the wipers that was probably stocked there 5 years ago.
And they're a blast to catch.
Yeah. And they're a blast to catch, but they don't reproduce, and they help with the shad population. I think that was the biggest thing that we're trying to say, like, dude, they help with the shad population. There's plenty of bluegills. There's plenty of crappies. I mean, a massive crappies too, that you can take. They can reproduce. Even the walleyes, if you want to say, at the end of the day, you can go walleye because they reproduce. Wipers don't reproduce, and we don't know if DNR, the Iowa DNR will ever stock that again. And that was the biggest thing. I mean, that's what I got from it, and it makes sense. Why are you going to take? Because in Iowa, it's. I mean, I don't know if I want to put this on blast, but it's unlimited wipers. You can. There's no limit, no matter white bass or hybrid bass. You can keep as many as you want. But the thing is, white bass can reproduce, wipers can't. And I think that was the biggest thing that he was trying to get. I know what Fishing Kid was saying, but that was the biggest thing he's trying to get, is like, look, guys, this one fish can get so much bigger and help us with the shad population. But the more you keep taking of this one fish that doesn't reproduce, you know what I'm saying?
They're gone.
I think that was his thing. He's not trying to tell anybody what you can and can't do. He's just like, take the other fish that can reproduce and keep the one that can't reproduce,
it's there for a reason.
Yeah.
It's there for another, and it's a hell of a fish to catch.
It's pretty fun.
And I think
just
that,
release and then catch again.
But I understand from both sides. Like, man, don't tell me what the hell I can keep and what I can't keep, especially when the government tells me that it's unlimited. I totally get
if they didn't
that.
want you to keep them, they could say, no bag limit.
That's the reason too that
keep
we keep having more and more regulation in general, I guess.
But
fishing too, where if we just all kind of did the right thing and kept low profiles, there probably wouldn't be limits on those.
So we had Jeff from, the DNR too, the Iowa DNR, Jeff Takabaska, and he was telling us, he goes, dude, the Iowa DNR does not want to throw the book at us.
Exactly.
No. They don't want to have to, because it's just not fun no more than,
Yep.
So that's the thing, like you just said, regulate yourselves. But I don't know, man. It's kind of, it was a touchy subject, obviously, with everybody on Facebook. And, you know, so now the funny thing is, we're going to get some Californians and Washington people like, what the hell are these Iowans talking about? They're going to go look. They're going to go look at Facebook and try to find this chat. It was blown up.
We get a lot of folks too, like Minnesota, Wisconsin, and up into Canada. You will get the book thrown at you for fishing regulations up there, and frankly, down here it's like the Wild West compared to up there. Like, I can catch a crappie and put that on a tip up and fish with that sucker. Where up there, there goes your fishing license.
There you go. No jaw jackers or anything like that. And
And that's why that's why when we had Jeff on for the Iowa DNR, he goes, that's exactly the whole point. We don't want to have to regulate you guys like the other states. And that was the biggest thing. I was like, dude, I totally respect that, and that's the way they look at it. I wish other fishermen here that can appreciate that they don't want to create a book this thick when Iowa's rule book for fishing is this thick. You know what I mean? And I think that was really, really something that hit home with me when we had that episode with him. It's like, all right, that makes complete sense. So
definitely,
and all the money that you have going from your fishing licenses, we want that to go back to the fisheries to improve fishing. We don't want to have to spend it on more officers to go out and write tickets and try and catch people in the act of doing whatever. So that's a good point.
I always say we need to regulate ourselves before the man comes and regulates us. Yeah. Because as far as regulations go, we got a pretty good thing, but as many good things, people ruin it for other people. Yeah. So I just, just selective harvest. That's all I ask.
Yes. Yep. but you know what? Because I actually went back and re-listened to our episode with him because I wanted to, because after that conversation that was on Facebook that just went crazy, right? I was like, I just wanted to see what he said about that. And the thing is, Iowa DNR are actually thinking about putting number limit on wipers. When I went back to listen, yes, they're thinking about it. When he talked to us, I think that was a couple months ago. I don't know if they're going to do it or not, but I'm just saying it was thrown in the air. That's what he said on our podcast. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day,
for all I care, it could be 0. That's fine.
Yeah. But you know what I mean, though? It's like, it's obviously they're thinking about it. He talked about it, and I'm just like, guys. And then when I saw that post, I went back and looked at it. I'm like, well, this is the reason being. I mean, I get it. And then people ask, like, you want to eat that fish? It's like, okay. Everybody's asking. Okay, so this is the thing. Anybody asking, is it good to eat a wiper? Depends on how you cook it. Okay, how you make it. So coming from Asians, for me, it's like what Kit just said. It's meh. It depends on
Asians aren't picky, so they'll eat whatever.
They'll eat whatever. But it still depends on how you make it. It's not. I mean, it's not the greatest, tenderest, flaky meat, in my opinion. There's
air fryer or oil.
It don't even matter on that. Honestly, I don't think you can make a. This is the thing. I don't think you can make a 5-pound wiper that damn great.
Yeah, well, a 5-pound wiper. How old is that thing?
6 years.
Yeah, at least.
6 years old. They stocked it. Yeah, in 2014 or 13. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not that you can eat it, but it doesn't hurt you. I mean, but it's not that. Okay, compare that to a 12-inch crappie. I would take a 12-inch crappie.
Or catfish.
Yep. Or a 2-pound
channel cat.
2-pound channel cat all day long. That meat is amazing, flaky. Bam. But
some fish sandwiches.
That 5-pound wiper, I think it comes down to prestige, I guess. Yeah. People like to say, "Oh, I caught this and I ate it." It's like, but was it good? That's the. But it was funny, man. You got to go back and see it. I might.
I'll have to go look. I'll have to go do some.
Like I said, that'll be the rest of Brett's night now.
I'm starting to recall. Now you're talking about wipers. I'm starting to recall what you're talking about, but I don't recall there being a spot in that post. But
you probably caught the first part of it, and it just blew up afterwards.
Yeah. See, the thing with me and wipers at Big Creek is they're now pushing that 5-pound mark.
Oh, they're big boys.
Yeah, they're getting close to that 5-pound mark. I haven't seen one, but then again, I don't weigh all the fish I catch, so maybe they're 5 pounds. I want to see a 10-pounder. That's gonna take.
Because you can pluck those out of the river, can't you? Those are available.
You catch those out of the river. Yeah. But I want to pull one out of Big Creek, and that's probably gonna take 4 more years to grow 10-pounders out of there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a biologist, but I'm just kind of doing the math. 5-ish years for a 5-pound fish.
Yeah, pound a year.
Yeah.
But
that's reasonable.
But we keep taking buckets and buckets full, so you're not going to see it. And that's what we're trying. I think that's what we're trying to say. Like,
well, and that's the thing too out there is, not to give away my techniques, but I like to long line crappies, open water. So just dragging crappie jigs behind my boat, going half mile or 0.8, and when a wiper takes that thing, it about rips your rod out of your hand, and you are in for a ride for a while. And that's, I mean, I got no desire to keep a fish like that. I'll put her back and catch it again at any time.
That's the thing. But it's like it's nice to catch. It's just It's all right. I just wanted to bring it up. Sorry.
Yep.
It's going to be a sore. Hey, this podcast episode, they're going to be like, oh my God, we're going to get haters left and right.
Hey, put that link on this post.
There you
Put the
go.
link to this podcast on that post.
Oh boy, we might have to get. Hey, I mean, we care, but we don't care.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, I mean,
Yep.
I care. Like, I mean, but
Well,
like,
I mean, from what I've heard, we're largely agreeing with the post. So, I mean,
yeah.
you can't.
Yeah.
But there's a few that are just like, no, but I don't think they realize that people are keeping bucketfuls of wafers. Buckets.
Yeah. Some people are like, oh, what's a video gonna do? Like, people aren't gonna come from out of town.
Oh gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
They have no idea.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
We saw it already. I think
So I made
Yeah.
speaking of posts, I made a post about Big or Brushy a while back, and I said, "Hey, stop by the Duncombe Gas and Grocery, grab my bait. It's great." That next week we went up there, and Mike from Duncombe Gas and Grocery was like, "This is the busiest damn week I've ever had at this." Because I wanted to buy red wigglers and some minnows. He's like, "I'm sold out. I just got them last week. I'm already gone." And I was like,
Couldn't believe it.
I mean, I'm not saying that it was because of my post, but I've never seen him sold out of anything before. And I was like, holy smokes.
Yep.
So yeah, people see it.
Yep.
You're
And
right.
people make some moves.
And that's why I don't think we never blown up a spot, Kit. And I don't think I don't think actually Fishing Kit has never blown up a spot whenever he was recording.
Yep.
Because I've seen people go there after he was there a month ago. I've seen that actually happen.
Yeah.
I've actually seen somebody I was fishing with. I was like, yeah, it's a Kit here. But the video was a month ago.
Go to
I
the
knew
Red
'cause I
Rock
was-
Dam.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
That's
like-
number one.
Don't get me wrong. I've made videos. I've made videos at Big Creek, but I never said it was Big Creek.
Yeah.
And that's what I learned from making videos and what
Well,
Spencer.
especially in the video game, because you can see what's going on around you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, one of my first big videos was Clear Lake, but that's Clear Lake. Everybody knows Clear Lake.
Yeah.
After that, I kind of gotten away from like, even if I go to Clear Lake now, I don't say it. That's just what I learned from other
Yeah.
people that do YouTube
Mhm.
videos
Yep.
and from what I've been, seeing. Like, you don't want your spot blown up, so you just say, "Oh, I'm at a lake in
Yep.
Central Iowa." Blah blah blah. Good enough.
Yep. And I think recently too, the advances like live scope, what we were talking about, that makes it so much more important to be good stewards of the lakes and rivers that we have, because somebody that could care less about any of the ethics kind of things, etiquette that we're talking about, can go up there with two guys in live scope out an entire pond, find all the fish in there. carry buckets
It's
out.
not quite that easy. I feel.
Yeah, but you get more than one person on there doing that.
Yeah, I suppose.
You can fish out of spot pretty quick.
Okay. No. When you have live scope, it's not guaranteed.
No, it's not. But
No.
multiple guys
It-
doing that, and
Yes.
having a spot picked out, especially like
Yeah, you're
on
able
a
to pinpoint
smaller
some
body of
spots pretty
water.
quick.
Yeah,
My only thing is you're right, because once I think a lot more get on the open water.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see
yeah.
once live scope is like completely everybody can afford it and whatever, and you get open
Or some
water.
sort of version. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how that's gonna affect the fishery, because it's gonna be
It'll
so
be interesting.
easy. I mean, it's gonna be so easy to pinpoint the fish, like you
Yeah,
just
oh,
said.
yeah.
But I mean, whether you catch them or not, it's whatever. But that's beyond. That's like 75%, 80% of the game that you can pinpoint them.
Yeah, it's cutting the learning curve down to something
Mm-hmm.
that's attainable by average people versus just the tournament guys that are out every day trying to pre-fish and figuring out fishing patterns, the hard way.
Well, we'll see. I'm gonna be right now. I think there's a lot of tournaments. I think that still allow live scope, but I believe like snagging tournaments, they took that away. I believe of live
Snagging
scope.
tournaments. What's that?
Yeah, I've never heard of that
I
either.
think isn't there some snagging like if you fish for
Like you're snagging fish in the
Yeah.
river?
Like carp and stuff.
with a weighted hook?
Yeah, like carp.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I was like,
No,
what?
yeah, like carp.
Walleye tournament on Big
Yeah,
Creek.
walleye tournament.
Because think
snagging
about
them.
it though, if you have live scope, you can see the size of the damn fish, so you can see the shape of it,
Yeah.
so you know what it is. So it's pretty damn easy.
Running
for you
those
to go.
snagging wraps.
Yep.
Is what I've heard jigging wraps referred to.
And actually, the snagging with live scope thing, I think I listened to the Iowa DNR's podcast.
Snagging's
There's-
illegal.
Yeah, well, it was down in Oklahoma, I think.
Yeah.
ever since there's a fishing guy down there. He got live scope like last year or something, and they've broken the state record like 5 times ever since he got live scope for spoonbill. And
Spoonbill. Okay.
yeah, for
Wow,
spoonbill,
yeah.
for spoonbill.
You see it.
Because you just pointed, that fish doesn't look that big. Look over
This
here,
looks
that
like
fish
there's a
is
log
big.
floating in the water. Let's go
Yeah.
try to catch that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man,
you see,
that's
you see
interesting.
the shape. The thing is with live scope, you see the shape of it because you can tell if that's like, you know what I'm saying? You can see that looks.
Yeah,
like
but see, I'm an
spoon.
opportunistic fisherman. I don't care what it is. If it's gonna bite, I'll catch it.
Hey, you with me on that one, dude?
Spoken like a true Southern Iowan. I don't care. I'll catch
Yeah, if it's a blob moving, let's catch
it. That's great.
Man, that sounds like me. I think that's something I do.
it.
You guys ever think of expanding to a long rod show?
Well, we have one. We have one mid-season episode called the Long Rod Edition.
Yeah, it got mixed reviews.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe our advice doesn't carry over.
I do enjoy the time off. I don't know if we'll do. I feel like I know more in-depth knowledge on the ice fishing game than I do the long rod game. I mean, I still go open water fishing, but
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. And it is nice just having the break, like you said, kind of hit it hard during the winter and take a break during the summer.
You're trying to sell us on this, man? Because
we got a
burnout's
plan.
real, ain't it?
Yeah.
Editing gets old.
Yeah.
It's just part of the gig, man. We get paid $0, but it's still part of the gig, kinda. It's all right, man.
Yeah.
But actually, your guys' podcast is pretty badass. I'm actually kind of curious that when Kit asked you guys that, I was hoping you guys would do an open rod one. Be pretty cool. You guys do a long rod.
We'll do
one.
some updates.
Yeah.
All
All right.
right. But
Yeah, we don't want to lose our whole audience throughout the summer and then have everyone try
because
to find
people
us
do
again.
get pumped. Like we got so many messages before we started
Yeah, when you
this
coming
next
out?
season.
When you
Like, when's it
recording?
coming? When's it coming? And this is in like
Yeah.
August, and I'm like,
Yep.
I'm
When's
so
the first
catfishing,
episode?
man. Let me be here for a minute.
It's awesome. man.
Just got
Hey, the demand's there.
yeah.
Gonna
People
have
are
to
there.
do it.
Yep.
Possibly.
Man, we're gonna have to get a lot better at open water fishing.
Yeah, maybe.
You can always go with Fishing Kit.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Just saying.
Actually, speaking with going to fishing, Kit, I'd say one of my favorite videos you got, Kit, is when you're camping on the ice.
You gonna do that again this year?
Okay.
How'd that go for you? I'm curious. First person experience, or from the first person talk point of view.
The night, like the daytime was good. You know, we caught fish, we ate fish, but then when nighttime came, the wind picked up, the fish stopped biting. I caught like 2 fish throughout the whole night, I think. And then
Jeez.
my straps for my hub, since it was windy, they were just vibrating. It sounded like a jackhammer. It was like all night. And I'm like tossing and turning. Like, oh man, I can't get to sleep. I should have brought earplugs. That's one thing I should have brought. I should have brought earplugs. Also, at the same time, I kind of want to hear what's going on. Like,
Oh yeah.
what if there's some creep coming up to me at night? If I got earplugs in, I'm just sound asleep. And then some dude just barges in.
Hey, how's the ice?
Yeah. Exactly.
I think you got something in store for this year, possibly on that one. Maybe.
Actually, I'm planning on it this weekend to camp out again, depending on the weather.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to. I think we're supposed to get up to 3 to 6 inches between Friday and Monday.
Yeah.
So we'll see
It'll
how
be
that.
good camping weather.
Oh no.
Not on the ice, man. That's a little rough.
Yeah, it'll be real rough. Yeah, it'll
Oh,
drift
yeah.
you in nicely.
Yep.
And then
Yeah, that's true.
I want to pay attention to the wind too. That's what I learned from last time. Those dang straps, man.
Straps.
Yeah,
See, that's
but
something they don't mention on all these YouTube videos when people are camping on the ice. Is
So
those
those-
straps.
those straps, you just put a twist in them. Just
Yeah,
put one little twist in them.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing too. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't think about that.
That's an old flatbed trucking trick. Put a twist in your strap.
Put a
and
twist
it'll
in it so
sit
it'll
there and
vibrate.
Vibrate. Yep.
Yeah. What
Well, there
Ben,
you
was
go.
it you that spent the night out on the ice before?
I have before, yeah, and
Yeah.
not
Similar
great.
sleeping experience.
You end up not sleeping, also not catching any fish. You have big hopes and dreams of catching fish, you know. Oh yeah, got it. We'll be on the night bite and then be there for the morning bite. and you end up kind of missing both because you're just sleep deprived and grumpy.
That's
So.
what I've been
How cold was
hearing.
it?
No, it's true though. That's what I always hear.
It
Like
gets
people.
freaking cold too. That's the thing. Yep. No, it's mixed results. I guess if you have a good setup for it, a big hub shelter, a couple cots, some way to keep warm, some good sleeping bags, you might be all right. But I have yet to get to that level yet. It is nice being out there like right away in the morning, having all your stuff already out, hit your spots right away. But man, it's tough. It's a lot of work. You got to have a lot of supplies too. And that's kind of ice fishing is kind of gear intensive anyway.
Oh yeah.
By the time you get out there and you're like, man, what do I need for the whole, next 2 days? There's a lot of crap that you need to bring out there.
So it's one of those things where it sounds and you talk about it.
Yep.
Oh, it's amazing until
on
you're
paper
in
it sounds awesome.
You get fired up watching
On paper,
Jay
it
Siemens
sounds
and Aaron Reed do it
Yep.
on YouTube, and then not the same.
Yep, it's not. No, I could. Hey, if you can't though, Kit, I'll meet you out there, right, man?
Yeah,
Meet you out there during the day.
I'm not staying tonight, but I'll meet you for a
Make
little
sure he
bit.
doesn't freeze to death.
Yeah,
we can record a show out there.
yeah.
There you go.
We might have to do that, man. Hey,
Take some notes from the short rod show.
Yeah. What's your mobile podcasting abilities?
we can do it easily. We have it all. It's just
Nice.
we just haven't done it. It's because I got 4 little rugrats.
Well, just bring
up
them
there.
along.
Yeah. Take
Well,
them.
I can only take 2 along. I can't take the other 2 yet.
Yeah.
They're too little, too small.
Yeah.
Yep.
Once the other 2 can go, then I'm all about it, man. I've been taking it. I told you guys, I've been taking the older 2 along. They're like addicted every weekend. I have to take them.
Nice.
Good deal.
Wintertime,
That's
every weekend.
Perfect.
Yeah,
That's perfect.
I got them addicted because they're like, oh, fishing kid gets us on fish, So
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
the-
out.
Yeah.
You got the
Love
spot.
it.
If it's just you, they're not going out.
Hell no.
Yeah, Dad
It's
doesn't
true.
get us on
They
any
won't.
fish.
They won't go out. They're like, Uncle
Where's
Kit
Uncle
gonna be
Kit?
there? That's exactly the question. Is Uncle Kit gonna be there? I go, I don't know. Well, we're not gonna catch fish if Uncle Kit's not there, Dad. I don't know how to take that, man. At the end of the day, you're gonna leave this shit on the freaking podcast, but they for real say that, like, Dad, I don't know. We're gonna catch fish if Uncle Kit's not there.
The 2 times you brought them out this season, they
Yeah.
caught fish. And the
Exactly.
time that you
They've-
brought them,
They've
you
connected the
traded-
dots.
Thanks,
Yep.
man. Thanks, guys.
That's
But-
awesome.
Oh my god! So, holy cow, we've been talking for over now. You know what? This has been a blast to have you guys. I hopefully we can get you guys back on again, and hopefully you guys can do long rod. I do want to hear that if you guys ever do a
There you
long
go.
rod.
Well,
episode.
It'll
this
be
year.
more disappointing mostly.
But thank you so much, guys, for just giving us the opportunity just to talk to you guys in locally. Like I said, I really appreciate the local podcast, the local people around us in central Iowa and the Midwest, and just to have you guys on here, it's been a blast for me to talk to you guys and get to know you guys a little bit more. So thank you so much for just even joining us. You got anything else for them, Kit?
Just if our audience wants to get a hold of you guys, where can they find you, and what's next for the Short Rod Show?
Yeah. Well, thanks for having us on. That's been
Yeah,
awesome.
it's been a
Like,
blast.
like what Brett says on our commercial, we're all over the internet.
Yeah.
You can't miss us. You can Google us. But yeah, we're on Facebook, our website, shortrodshow.com.
Yep.
We're on Instagram too, the Short Rod Show.
All podcasting platforms.
Yeah, finally got all the podcasting platforms figured out.
Yeah.
That took a while. Yeah, well, thanks for having us, guys. We
Yeah,
appreciate
it's been
it.
a lot of fun.
Cool. And before I end this, do you guys ever get some weird women or men that actually like, what's a short rod, guys? I'm just wondering.
No, we haven't yet.
Did
Not
somebody
yet.
Google? Okay, so I'm just wondering if they Googled it, like.
So
short
when we
rod?
were, what podcasting platform were we applying for that we had to verify our stuff
That's what I
to not
wondered.
be rated X? No, not rated X, but they
That's what I
wanted to
wanted to
verify
ask.
that we weren't in trouble, that we
Yeah,
weren't
Like
something
Pandora,
like
you
that.
have to like really vet your podcast. They have to
Yeah.
make sure you have enough views and downloads but yeah, we my wife actually thought of the name
Oh boy.
and signed off on it.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yep.
On that note, till next time. Yeah. So I look at my little. This is
I was
my,
gonna say, what is
this is my
this?
portable refrigerator, gentlemen. Don't
Very
judge
nice.
me. All right. Don't judge
No
me. on this.
judgment. No
Nope.
judgment. I mean, we're not girl dads, but yeah, no judgment
It's all
here.
right. Keep them cold either way.